Yeah, no, I backed up.
Oh my.
Okay, now
And
that's
hump your couch.
yeah. The controls have changed themselves a little.
Thanks,
I'm gonna
VR
have to-
chat. You.
No. Thanks
I'm not gonna
VRChat
say-
for implementing the Steam VR 2.0 control scheme, so I can actually change all of my controls exactly how I want them instead of how VRChat thinks they should be.
Also, I
Are you
love
talking
today's
about-
topic.
Are you talking about changing overlays? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Steam VR 2.0 controls.
Well,
You can
I don't
map
have the
like
beta.
if you're playing.
like 3 or something.
You don't
like
have to have the VR chat beta doesn't fucking matter right now. It's Steam VR 2.0 controls. The control mapping is way different in Steam VR, and VR chat has not supported it, even though it's been out for like 3 years.
Oh, okay.
But it's a
Alright.
control scheme where your controllers give Steam VR all of the buttons and things that they can do. The game gives Steam VR all of the things that you can do in the game, and you get to map every single one of those actions exactly how you want.
That's what they're doing with the
Instead
new
of
Call
just
of
the-
Duty. Have you seen that? They're doing that with the
Yeah,
new Call of
that's
Duty. You
because-
can actually.
That's because Steam is taking over all of that controls instead of the game implementing each controller itself. The game just implements the Steam VR or the Steam SDK,
You heard it
and
here
that's
first. Valve is commandeering your controller. Riot.
it. Anyway, so
Yeah, they're coming to take your
today,
jobs.
let me get going though, because we still haven't fucking started even. Today we are talking about Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. All the shows on those, all the good times there, back in the day. Also, this is episode 34. I think it's 34. I think I messed up on the number on the.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you
'cause
want
I
me to
just
check real
uploaded
quick?
episode 33.
Yeah,
this
33
is
was just
episode
uploaded.
34. Yeah, this is episode 34 of the Beyond Pixels podcast. We're gonna have a good time today. Also, a mall is very loud. Jesus.
Finally, you hear what we hear. You see what I
You
see.
understand our pain.
Okay.
Oh yeah, today's topic I'm real excited about because this is something that we talked about. I didn't think that we would be going to this topic so quickly since last week,
I said
since
it
we
last-
had that brainstorming episode.
I said it last week. I was like, "Fuck it, we're gonna talk about that next week." I immediately said that.
I don't even remember that happening, but
Hello,
To be
Strange
fair.
Dragon. How's it going? Yeah. Well, anyway, so the first thing, which one had the better shows, Cartoon Network or Adult Swim?
What
fuck,
era are
don't
we
do
talking
that to
here?
me, bro.
Exactly.
We're
Don't do
like
that
in
to
general,
me.
when you were a kid, when you were growing up and you were watching it, what was your favorite show and which one was it on? Let's just go with that.
ah, fucking hell.
I don't know about
Or
shit.
like
which one
trying
had
to-
the better shows?
This is
Well,
like
when I
trying
was
to pick
younger-
which child is your favorite, dude. This is impossible for me.
Well,
No,
there's
it's
always
easy.
a
When I
favorite
was
child,
younger,
let's
it was
be-
definitely Cartoon Network, like hands down. Like there was no
I
whole
would
lot
say-
going on in Adult Swim besides Futurama and Family Guy, non-fucking stop.
Dude.
So
I will say
Okay, Futurama, best show ever.
no, don't get
Okay,
me wrong,
so-
it's great, but when you see it a bunch, it gets boring.
Oh man, I love Futurama.
Well, it just depends on
I
what
went back and
episode, I
watched.
mean.
I went
Yeah.
back and watched almost all of Futurama. I need to go back and finish it again, but to do that, I'm just going to restart the whole series again. Because Futurama is amazing.
There are some episodes I can't watch, like for example, the dog episode, Fry's dog. I can't go
Oh
back
my
and watch
god!
that one because
no,
I know
don't
that I
stop!
know.
No, stop that now!
Oh man, that is a sad episode. What about the
Well, yeah.
the episode where all the time travel and the splitting and then the exploding people? That's a fun episode.
I could go
That
for
was
that
one of my favorite ones.
Wasn't there a
anyway.
Futurama movie?
Yes, I think there was.
Hold up, Google Senpai, tell me, was there a Futurama movie?
Did you just say Google Senpai?
Shut up.
What now?
It's called Bender's Big Score. It was released in 2007.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, are we talking about the movie?
Yeah,
I was just curious if
Futurama,
there was a
Bender's
movie.
Big Score.
Yep.
Yeah, November 27th, 2007.
Now,
Yeah.
I know which movie you're talking about.
I don't know. It's been years, so I don't fucking remember.
Eh.
2007, I was 20 years old. I'm 37 today, to give you an idea. And here's the
Yeah, I
thing.
was 17.
The thing about your question is really hard is because Cartoon Network has more content than Adult Swim does.
Yeah.
But I would still say that between the two of them, the quality of the content that you're getting is still equal, despite the fact that Cartoon Network has more. So I would say, you know, if you're asking me honestly, I would say Adult Swim because I can watch all of Adult Swim, every single show from Cowboy Bebop to Trigun to Gundam Wing Uncensored to Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Sea Lab 2021. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I could literally watch that shit all day, all fucking night, and not have a bad time.
Wasn't the animated
Now it's-
anime series part of Toonami first, before Adult Swim?
Oh yeah.
Uh,
You just became high pitched as fuck.
Yeah,
Did I?
I wanted to point it out, but I figured it was just his mic giving him crap.
Oh no, it is. I gotta reset everything now. Okay, I'll be back.
Oh man, gotta love it when that happens.
Okay. I'm trying to get these fucking controls set right, and SteamVR is just being a dick to me right now.
As it do.
Welcome to my world. But yeah, I mean, that would be my answer. I mean, do you disagree or agree, Stealth? I would say if we're going pound for pound, like even though Adult Swim is a significantly smaller segment of Cartoon Network, would you say
At
that
the
the quality of
time,
the content is
then-
equal or better than Cartoon Network?
Yeah, sorry, there's people talking over me.
I just think so. I mean, that's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. I'm not trying
Okay,
to
now
start
that
a
people
flame war
are
here.
shouting at me one more time.
I would say, do you agree? Do you agree with what I say? Despite the fact that Adult Swim has a significantly smaller segment of content as compared to all of Cartoon Network, would you say, based on the quality of the two pieces of content, that Adult Swim's content is better?
At the time, not really, because I just didn't really enjoy it that much. Like, half of them, of course I did, but the other half is just, meh.
Well, can you specifically point me in a direction, or can you give me an idea?
Well, consider. The time I was allowed to stay up, I had 2 hours into Adult Swim. Those blocks were taken up by Futurama and Family Guy. That's it.
Oh, damn.
Sometimes they'd flip-flop, but not much else after that.
Damn, see, I started watching Adult Swim the day it premiered. This was like Cowboy Bebop and fucking Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I would watch that for fucking ever because I think that was probably one of the better shows because I always liked watching the interviews with like Conan O'Brien or Metallica.
I wouldn't.
And,
I don't disagree, but that would require my parents not watching, keeping an eye on the TV like hawks.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
trust
See,
me.
when I was really young, I had a TV in my room. And I think I talked about this a little last episode. I had a TV in my room, and this was before Charter went full digital and disabled just being able to plug a coax in and get the first 50 or so channels.
Yeah.
So I had Cartoon Network, which was always channel 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still remember that, and I think that's crazy. But I always had Cartoon Network, and I would fall asleep with the TV on, and there would be so many times I would wake up to freaking Aqua Teen Hunger Force and end up sitting there for an hour in the middle of the night just watching Adult Swim. And then all the little skits and things that they always did between the shows and
Yeah.
during commercials. Some of the oh my god, Too Many Cooks.
Too Many Cooks?
Too Many Cooks.
I'd have to
I've
look that
heard of
up.
it, but I do not know of it.
It was, if I remember right, it was an Adult Swim short in between episodes of something, and it was the weirdest thing. If you haven't watched it, I'm not going to tell you any more about it. You have to go watch it yourself. It is so fucking weird. It like they did so much weird shit.
Wait, is this the family deal? Because I'm looking at a thumbnail for it, and
Yeah, there was like a
cat.
giant fucking family, and it was a super weird time.
By the way, apparently they made a movie out of it in 2014 called Too Many Cooks. It's a horror film.
It's a short film. It's a horror short film.
No,
It is.
There's
That's
an
exactly-
actual there. Well,
Like
I
how
guess
long
it's
of
a short
movie?
film, but
It's like 10 minutes.
I
right?
don't know how long of a movie, but needless to say, it made it to Dead Meat's kill count on YouTube. I'll say that much.
I don't know what that is.
Dead Meat, it's a YouTube channel that does kill counts on all the horror films.
Uh-huh.
Which, by the way, if you want to know
Never
what the
heard.
first battle royale was, it was called what was it called? The first ever battle royale horror film. Let me see if I can find it. I want to say it was called The Office or something like that. Not The Office.
But anyway, what I was talking about though,
about to say.
all of the like short films that Adult Swim had were fucking insane. And Too Many Cooks is my favorite of all of them. You know, I if I got TV, it would be solely for Adult Swim. Now, but I barely ever watch it, so there'd be no point in me paying for it. Like I don't even have a TV in my room anywhere, so
We're adults. What's TV?
well, if we're adults, we got to go to Adult
Ah.
Swim. You know, we got to be up in the middle of the night watching that shit. But I think
okay, it's called. I was gonna say the movie I was looking for. I was referring to. It's called The Belko Experiment.
Anyway, so
No clue
if
what
I
that
remember
is.
right, Adult Swim, Cartoon Network switched to Adult Swim at like 11 p.m. Central Time. It might have been 10 or midnight. It was somewhere between 10 and midnight. I don't remember exactly.
It was
It's been
10
so
10
long.
Central. It was 10 Central
Oh, okay.
for me.
So that would mean that for the West Coast, it switched over at 8 p.m. That's funny. There's probably a lot
I'm
more.
just telling you when it came on.
Hold on. Things are making a lot more sense in the world. Adult Swim was coming on in the West Coast at 8 p.m. That explains a lot of this. That explains a lot of the world now, doesn't it? I'm just gonna leave it at
Well,
that.
I always thought 12 Eastern was like the standard, but I guess not. But back then, they also had to like contend with a lot of. I think there was like a. Correct me if I have to look this up, but I think there was like an FCC like deal that they had to actually like follow. Like you couldn't for example, South Park couldn't be aired during the day. It had to come on in the middle of the night or even closer to like past the midnight or
Yeah.
like around that time. And that was
because there's no swearing or whatever, or no
nothing
crazy
uncensored.
shit could happen. Very much, yeah.
Yeah, so I think
But-
Adult Swim had to follow those same standards as South Park did. So it was an
Yeah.
FCC like deal. Fuck the FCC,
Yeah,
by the
but,
way.
But still, with that, if it was 8 p.m. that they did the switchover, if it was 8 p.m. West Coast time, think of how many more kids in the West Coast grew up watching more of Adult Swim than we did.
Probably a shit. First off, I mean, they probably inspired it. Those inspired a lot of cartoonists. Like, you think about Meat Canyon, for example. He was inspired by a lot of that shit.
I've never heard of him.
I've shown you his videos.
Really?
Yeah.
You expect
I don't
Turtle to
know who
remember
they are.
something.
Yeah. I am the turtle brain. I have memory of turtle.
Turtle
What were we
doesn't
talking
like
about again?
media. I don't know.
Oh my fucking god, turtle.
I don't know. What I want to do is I want to actually. Okay, so we're talking about Cartoon Network. Let's get back. We've given Adult Swim like 15 minutes of our time. Let's actually focus on both
Yeah, I mean,
rather than just
so
simply.
There is one big thing I want to talk about Cartoon Network specifically.
That its shows suck now?
Well, that's true. I don't
Yes.
even want to talk about the modern shows. I haven't watched Cartoon Network in like 6-7 years now. 8 years, 10 years? I don't even know anymore. It's been so long.
It has been a
but-
time frame.
When were you guys watching Cartoon Network when they added in the IRL, like the real life shows, like Destroy, Build, Destroy?
Yes, and also Robot Wars, I think, was on it. It was either Robot Wars or BattleBots. It was one of the two. But I remember they added that specifically.
Yeah.
I probably was watching cartoons. Oh, what?
Sobe's Sobe got. I'm pretty sure you got cotton candy grapes once, didn't you?
Candy grape. Oh, cotton candy grapes. Yeah.
Cotton candy grapes. They didn't taste anything like cotton candy.
They tasted delicious. His taste
It
buds
didn't
don't
taste
work.
anything like cotton. Fuck you. I have so many issues.
Too much
Anyway.
sugar.
Yeah. So I remember watching Destroy, Build, Destroy a lot. Weirdly enough, I didn't get to watch a lot of Cartoon Network because, I grew up in the time that get the fuck out of the house, go to the park that's literally right next to the house that I lived in, and don't come back inside unless I needed something to drink or something to eat until it's dark out.
You were spoiled.
So I was fucking told, get the fuck out of the house. I was not spoiled. My parents did not want me in the house.
I
My
couldn't
mom
come
wanted
back
me to
in
go
the
outside
house.
and make friends.
Okay, on that note,
If I-
Turtle, I want to say something because you kind of brought up, like the whole getting out of the house thing. I'm not going to give full discussion, but let's talk about I want to talk about something Cartoon Network related that we all know, Toonami. Because this is a really big part of my story, is because I would go to school,
Isn't
I'd
that
come
also-
home every single day. Sorry?
I'll wait.
I would come home from school. My ritual was I'd pour myself a glass of milk, make myself 2 chocolate Pop-Tarts, and immediately rush to my room as Dragon Ball Z was coming on. This was during the Namek arc, by the way, right before Goku goes Super Saiyan. But I would go in there and, I'd watch the whole saga of Frieza versus like Vegeta and Piccolo, and Goku's all like beat to shit. Sorry,
Getting way
spoiler
too-
alert.
That is
but,
like a
I don't know
true
anything
child
about that
energy.
show.
So my favorite show's coming on. Get the Pop-Tarts.
yeah, get the chocolate Pop-Tarts and, hey, milk. Absolutely. That was my dream. Every time I was just looking forward to getting off the bus, running into the house as fast as possible. It's just like, hi, Mom, back home from school. Can't talk. And I would go in my room, and my mom and I had an agreement. She let me watch my shows, and then afterwards, if I had any homework whatsoever, I would absolutely get it done right after my shows were done. And then I could go outside and play for a little bit. Well, here's the thing. I lived in the country. I lived on 10 acres of land with no neighbors. So I was by myself. I was a young child by
Playing
himself.
with the squirrels.
And so what I did was I just went out on my fucking little jungle gym that my dad built for me, back in the 90s. And as soon as all the shows were done, and I was just like, all right, it's my turn to save Namek. So my imagination was the only thing that I had as a kid, really, not growing. The only friends I had were at school or like about 45-minute drive to my dad's house. And that was it.
Ooh.
But I didn't have,
Okay.
Toonami was a really big help for me, I guess, growing up in a way, because it made me feel like, even a kid can be a hero. That's what it felt like to me.
Just not a Super Saiyan.
No,
Yeah, I don't
wished
know anything about any of those shows. Toonami was never something I got to watch. I was either watching Cartoon Network or the depths of Adult Swim.
I was watching Toonami when Moltar was the host before Tom. That's how
No.
long I've been watching it. Like
hang on.
Sailor Moon was the first.
What?
Sailor Moon.
Wait, hang on.
What
Hang on. Wait, wait, wait.
channel?
The
I
hosts
need to say
changed?
something. What
Yeah.
fucking channel was it
Hold on.
that did
Hold
the month of Miyazaki? Was that Cartoon Network?
I want to say it
Adult
was.
Swim?
That is,
I
that
mean,
is Cartoon
something
Network,
else.
yes. It's
That's
funny you
Cartoon
mentioned
Network.
that.
Yeah. If you're talking about
I-
Miyazaki, are you,
The month of
Miyazaki, is he the one
Miyazaki.
that made Princess? Is he the one that made Princess Mononoke?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I love that
And
film. My
Howl's
favorite
Moving
anime, by the
Castle.
way.
Howl's Moving
Yeah,
Castle is so much fucking better. So like that is one of the best things I ever watched growing up. Me
was
and my
the other one?
sister would always stop what we're doing that whole fucking month and just watch every single one that went on, and it was so good. Oh. But I never watched any of the anime that came on TV at all, like ever. I've never got into it, never cared about it. There was always way too much that I would have had to watch 30 episodes to understand what the fuck is going on finally, and I was never able to just watch it. So
I don't know. Obviously, when I was a kid, I was pretty into Sailor Moon. So
yeah, I'd fuck them.
Yeah, honestly,
was a
the
joke, by
shows
the way.
weren't really something I remember much anymore, but I do remember the events that Cartoon Network would host.
I remember
Like,
there
in
was an
between certain time
interactive.
blocks, there would be... Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, I finally found this. Who remembers Master Control?
Was it the one where Tom actually, the original
No,
Tom
no, this
died
has
and then
nothing
Tom
to do with
took-
Toonami.
Oh, okay.
This is a completely different thing.
I remember Master Computer, but not Master Control.
Yeah, no, Master Control was like a month-long thing where there were 3 teams voting on episodes, and the one that got the most votes won that round, in quotes, and got their entire block for the time it was on.
I liked the Looney Tunes Super Bowl. It was where they actually pitted iconic Looney Tunes against each other in a Super Bowl-like situation where you had to say what was the best cartoon, and they would get a point for every single
Didn't they make
best
that a
cartoon.
Flash game, too?
No, it was like Bugs Bunny versus Daffy Duck, Roadrunner versus Coyote, Sylvester
No, that's
versus
what I mean.
Tweety. Every single year, they did a different Super Bowl, and they always picked 2 iconic Looney Tunes characters to do it.
Yeah.
I thought
Kinda
I
like
was
the Puppy
prepared for
Bowl.
this
Stuff
podcast.
like that.
I was not.
Mm.
You both have me lost.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
want to talk. Okay, all right. I'll bring it back
I'll talk
straight.
about Master Control in a
flat,
second.
straight up Cartoon Network. If I had to say, like, there were. It's funny enough. We're talking about the animes, but the animes weren't actually the best cartoons to me. Not even, you think about cartoons, where it was just random independent cartoonists trying to make any like. That's where Kids Next Door came from. One of the independent artists.
I'm glad you said something else because I was about to say, and they're all named Hanna-Barbera.
No, one of the independent artists actually made a cartoon in the style of Kids Next Door, but it was like Chimpy and I can't remember what the blonde kid's name was, but it looked like number 4 from Kids Next Door. But that one cartoon actually launched his whole career. Like, he was able to make a bunch of episodes of Kids Next Door.
Let me see if I can't find what you're talking about. I have the wiki pulled up.
Yeah, it's Chimpy and Steve, I think. Steve. That doesn't sound right. But it was like a mad science. They had to watch a mad scientist's laboratory. But it was a pretty interesting
Give me a little
thing.
bit. I'll look this up.
You can do that. In the meantime, when I say, stepping away from anime like Toonami or Adult Swim, if I'm just going pure Cartoon Network, SWAT Cats was one of my favorite shows. If there's one cartoon I would love to see them try and bring back and remaster, it would be SWAT Cats. I would love to see what that would look like. And if you've never
I
seen
found
it,
it.
look up a trailer.
Circuitry?
Yeah.
You're thinking of Kenny. You're thinking of Kenny and the Chip.
Oh, Kenny. Oh, I know why I like Kenny and the Chip. Now I can't say it on stream, but I know why I like Kenny. But yeah. But definitely look up the intro for the SWAT Cats. Just look at
wow.
that.
Why
And
do I have a
it is
feeling I
fucking-
know what you're talking about?
The SWAT Cats to me
I-
was like one of the coolest cartoons. Like that fucking.
Oh my fucking god!
I don't even have to look at the trailer. I saw the picture and I knew it immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the SWAT Cats
that's-
was
yeah.
fucking awesome, dude.
God, so much
God, I
nostalgia hitting
forgot
us at
about
once.
that.
Same.
Yeah. Well, it's like it was cartoons like that I liked. I liked SWAT Cats. I liked Biker Mice from Mars.
Yeah. Like,
Um,
I remember the design. I could not for the life of me remember the show.
Oh, dude,
God, there
the
was a
theme song
Nintendo
for me
game based
is
on
like
it?
what hooked me right off the bat. Because it reminds
That's
me
what
of like
gotcha.
Double Dragon or something like that.
I'll
It's
look
like
at it.
heavy. It's
in a little
hard
while.
hitting. It's cool. Where teens from around the world
Yeah.
show up to a studio and run courses to compete. Oh, Legends of the Hidden. You're thinking of Nickelodeon. We're talking about Cartoon Network, Titan.
Next episode, Legends of the Hidden Temple, baby.
Yeah, if you're talking about Nickelodeon, first of all, you're talking about Nickelodeon Gas.
By the
Nick
way,
Gas?
rip Nick Gas.
Yeah, that was
The
the
Switch.
the
Oh,
network that
okay.
had get. Oh,
Another show that was on Cartoon Network, I'm pretty sure, was Code Lyoko, right?
Code Lyoko was on.
yes, it
Cartoon
was on
Network, yes.
Cartoon Network. Yes.
A
he
show
part
we have
of
talked
the
about
Toonami
a
block?
few times.
Uh,
No, I think it was just on regular Cartoon Network.
It was on
Okay.
regular Cartoon Network in the mornings, but in the afternoon, I think it was on Toonami. But it came on in the morning
Ah.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to watch it in the morning mostly. So, that fucking. One of my favorite shows of all times, Code Lyoko. We've talked about it a few times on the podcast already.
Mhm.
Our parasocial relationships episode talking about liking virtual characters and show characters and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get where
Yep,
this is going.
That one. I fucking love Code Lyoko. Still to this day, one of my favorite shows ever, hands down.
Okay, I don't know if it's one of my favorite shows, but you and I will disagree on the fact that VR Chat is an experience, but we can't agree that Code Lyoko is awesome.
Yeah.
I just had to throw that in. My bad. Poor joke. My bad.
Oh, man. Okay, what else do we have on the list here?
What
So,
about stuff
okay,
older
we-
than
we-
1990?
No, we were talking about the Cartoon Network bringing the IRL stuff.
Well, I may have to
But-
check those out.
We just talked about the shows. Now, how did you feel when they were doing that?
I hated it.
I kind of liked it
I
because we
was-
got to see kids that were around our age at the time, at least my age at the time, that were doing crazy cool things like blowing things up and then designing and building machines out of them and then blowing them up
yeah.
again. I fucking
I
that,
wish.
Destroy
I
Build
missed
Destroy
the
is literally
beginning
the
part, but
only
now I know
show
what you're
I
talking
remember.
about. Yeah.
Here's the
Destroy
thing.
Build Destroy is the only show that I remember in the IRL block.
Okay, so the only reason I didn't like Destroy Build Destroy is because I thought there was another superior show to it, but it was on a different channel. It was called Junkyard Wars. And the whole premise of that was they put you in a junkyard, you had to fish out all of the parts from old, used, broken down cars and vehicles and just weld and grind and hammer out a single device. Like they built trebuchets out of junk and materials. They built
They need to
fucking
bring that show back.
cannons.
That's basically what Destroy Build Destroy was, but they had specific
I know, but
things they
I
were
watched,
blowing up.
I watched both
and
of them, and I
destroying.
still think that Junkyard Wars was better.
Yeah, you got trebuchets. What more can you say?
I liked things getting blown up, so what
Fair
can I
enough.
say?
Hey, every man to his own taste.
Uh, so
But what about cartoons that are older than 1990? Did you watch anything from the 80s or beyond that?
I don't know anything
Tom and
back then.
Jerry.
Yeah.
What about Scooby Doo? Did you watch Scooby Doo? Where are you? I'm pretty
Me
sure
personally,
that's
yes.
like 1970.
What's that? Hang on.
Yeah. There are a couple of cartoons. I watched Johnny Quest. Y'all know Johnny Quest?
Know of it. Didn't
course.
really like it that much.
Yeah, I watched Johnny Quest. That was a really early one.
Yeah, you're right, Circuitry. Like, very tail end of the 60s is when it came out.
Yeah, I
Like
figured it was either 68 or 70.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah, between
Oh,
68
shit.
and
I didn't know
70
it was
was
that
what I was
old.
going to guess. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
But
That dog is fucking old.
I'll tell you,
And now
a
they
lot
ruined
of
it.
Scooby-Doo has
We
inspired
don't talk
a
about
lot of
dog.
other cartoons. I mean, you think about what's the name of the show with the buggy in it? Like Speed Buggy? Did anyone ever hear about that one?
I know what
I know what you're
I
talking
know what
about.
you're talking
It's-
about.
hang on.
Yeah.
And then there was one
Oh,
with a
God.
shark in it, and I can't remember what that one's called either. But it had the voice of
Shark Buggy?
Curly. Huh?
Speed
Speed Buggy?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was literally like a Scooby-Doo type deal, you know. They had that. They also had, Jabberjaw. They had Jabberjaw. That was the name of the show. But all sorts of spin-offs of Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo and, you know,
Yeah.
Mysteries Incorporated. I know that they had that. And then that
Well, Mysteries
one was the
Incorporated is
one-
not really a spin. Well, I guess it kind of is.
Well, they had.
But
It's
it's
the one with
still-
Scrappy Doo in it. It's the one with Scrappy in it.
Meet a pup named Scooby Doo?
No, not a. Well, that was my favorite when I was a kid. My God, I would pretend to be sick just to watch that. And no kidding. I actually would pretend to be sick just to watch cartoons.
Okay.
I can believe that.
I think this was the 90s. I thought it was a show called Street Sharks that you were talking about.
Street Sharks.
What about G.I. Joe? Did y'all watch that? That was on
No,
Cartoon
I
Network
didn't
for a
watch
time.
G.I. Joe that much.
For some reason, my parents did not let me watch it.
Yeah, Titan, you're talking about Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I'm talking about stuff before the 90s. We'll get
Yes,
to. We'll get, I want to save those cartoons for the end because I know we're going to have a lot to talk about in terms of Ed, Ed, and Eddie, Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken,
One
Sheep in the Big
event in
City. We're going to talk
particular,
about all
yeah.
of them. Yeah,
What
trust
about
me.
Cat
I
Dog
just want
too?
to get the boring shit out of the way on my end because I'm a nostalgic fuck. But like one show that I watched, I really got into that was actually I want to say it was made in the 80s, but it was called Pirates of Darkwater. And it was really, really fucking cool. The whole goal of the show was to find 13 gems and bring them all together. And at the same time, you're trying to fight a.
I'm sorry, this looks familiar.
Yeah,
I don't
Pirates of
know any
Darkwater
the
was
stuff
pretty
you guys are
fucking
talking
cool.
about. I'm just. This is the
Oh,
first
and
time
also-
I've been
I don't
just
either, Turtle,
completely
but
out
it
of the
looks familiar.
conversation. So
Dude, we're on a topic where I actually have so much fucking shit.
yeah, I'm
Damn.
just going through
No.
Discord
You know
talking
this
to
is
people because
old
I'm
when-
so far out of this conversation.
You know this is old, but it has Jim Cummings in it.
Oh yeah, God.
I
See, a lot of my I found that a lot of my favorite cartoons are the ones from the 30s, from the 40s, from the 50s. Like, I was on a cruise back in 2004, and the only thing they had on the TV in terms of cartoons to watch was Felix the Cat. That was it. But I still binged that shit like a motherfucker. There was like 200 episodes I watched over a 10-day period because they're so short. But man, I love Felix the Cat now.
So, oh god, I don't know if it's
Will
Cartoon
he ever
Network,
come
but
back?
if it is, then you must have liked
Oh, okay, hang on.
blocks
Billy
like
and
Boomerang.
Mandy.
Oh,
Billy
I
and
love
Mandy,
Boomerang.
Dexter's
Yes.
Lab.
Yes, I love
I know
Boomerang
those
too.
two. I loved those two. Dexter's Lab was also a really good show.
Samurai
Billy and
Jack
Mandy was good shit.
peril. Past the
Samurai
bolted
Jack
doors
never
when
cared
many
about it.
possible things
Oh,
may
Samurai
happen.
Jack was awesome.
That's
Sorry.
sacrilegious. My favorite
Nocti,
Samurai
why are
Jack
you wanting us to
episode
do your math
date is the
homework?
one when he was going against those blind dogs.
Why is Nocti coming in here? Oh my fucking god, Nocti. You chat is
Okay, that was funny. I'm not gonna lie, that
Yeah.
was funny.
yeah.
Titan, sorry you fell for it.
Yeah.
See, I was just asking him why he's wanting us to do his math homework.
And thus we're reminded of why humor has deteriorated.
Wow.
I gotta pee real quick. Give me
Anyway.
1 second. Y'all
So-
talk about your favorite cartoons. I've talked enough for now.
I'm
Yeah,
mostly going over the
I had-
events.
I had some stories to tell about some things because I remembered some things while I was writing down the notes for today, but now I can't fucking remember them because you guys pulled me so far off onto other random shit that I don't know a damn thing about.
Turtle,
I didn't
welcome
really
to the show.
have. I didn't really have.
I'm older than all of you, and you're contributing to the problem.
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah, Adventure Time I didn't really like. I didn't care. I didn't really watch much of Cartoon Network at that point.
Yeah, no, we're mostly going.
Like I do know when Charter did the cutover from analog to full digital, I was watching TV when the TV just went to static, and I was sad. I was so sad because I didn't get to watch TV in my room for like a month after that, or like 6 months after that, until my mom finally decided to get another cable box because we only had one in the living room. And it took a long time for her to get another cable box to do that. So I was left without any TV at all in my room. I just had a DVD player and got to watch a couple movies, and that was about it.
Everyone laughed.
I'm sure that's how most of us grew up. Even my family, my mom never got us our own TV in our bedrooms. It wasn't until I actually moved out that I actually had a TV in my room that could play anything.
Yeah, cable was kind of off and on for my family. Like I don't think it stayed like permanent until I was like 9.
The only reason I ever had a TV in my room is because they bought a new TV for the living room. The living room TV went to replace the TV that was in my mom's room. My mom's TV went to my sister. My sister's TV went to me. So it was literally just a passing all around the house. And I got the fucking old ass static, the big bulbous box TV that weighed like 50 pounds and it was tiny.
Well,
one of those things almost killed
I'm not
my
going to touch too much on this subject, but basically for me it was the cable box was downstairs in the living room. My room and my brother's bedroom were upstairs. So at night, if we couldn't sleep and we couldn't play with our toys or anything because our mom was downstairs and she'd hear us walking around, I found in the basement a 6-inch black and white quote-unquote portable TV that only had 3 channels. And I watched MASH on that at night.
I'm so glad my audio cut back in because it left off at 6-inch black.
Jesus.
Just
another thing I used to watch a lot, and I just lost it. Fuck my memory.
Turtle, please.
What? Huh? What did he say?
Fuck, I was trying to... Damn it, I lost it.
I'm just gonna say it now. Fuck it, shit show, never forget.
Never forget. That's where the button would work right there.
Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what it was. We were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! A bit ago, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the things that I did a lot of. I actually have a fuck ton of old Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards that I wouldn't be surprised if some of them are in good condition still. I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually worth some money, because these are from like 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! Wasn't a Cartoon Network thing, though. That was like Fox Kids.
No, it was on Cartoon Network. There was at least a year or two that it was.
Cartoon Network to Fox.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was over with like Digimon on Fox Kids. You know what? The more you know.
No, Digimon was also on Cartoon Network.
No, it wasn't.
The hell it
Pokemon
was.
It wasn't?
Pokemon was. Yeah, Pokemon was.
Wasn't there a Beyblade show on too?
That might have been on. That might have been on Cartoon Network, but that definitely switched.
I'm telling you, all of these were on Cartoon Network at some point when I was watching them. Dude, I have Bakugan in my closet somewhere because my mom thought it was cool and wanted me to get into it. And I was just like, I'm literally the only kid in my entire school that has any of this. This is boring.
I hate
sad
how
now.
relatable that is. My mom did the same for us, me and my brother, because she thought it would be a good activity for us. Guess what I couldn't
You
do?
at least had a brother to play with. Oh my god.
What's a brother?
I couldn't let it rip.
Oh my god. I wasn't talking about Beyblades. We were talking about Bakugan.
Oh,
Beyblades.
oh,
I had a
Bakugan.
fuckload of I had a fuckload of Beyblades that
I
I
to this
used
day
Bakugan?
on my
still
own.
don't know how Bakugan works.
Yeah, what
I
the fuck
don't
is a
either, but
Bakugan?
I have some Bakugan. Bakugan is past your time. Bakugan was only really coming out when I was like 12 or 14.
Stealth is a little bit older than me. He knows what Bakugan is. What do you mean it's past my time?
It's past.
I
your
didn't say it's past your time.
time. It's past your
Turtle
time.
did. You know what? That's fine because I heard it's complicated because you need cards, you need little things.
And the
You
cards are
need
special
cards,
because they have
little
magnets
ball
in them.
figures. You need a fucking nuclear reactor. Shit's insane.
And everything has magnets, and it's such little articulating points. And they were expensive back then.
Yeah, and if you kept any of those magnet cards or balls in your pocket, there goes your cell phone.
Yeah, that's not really true anymore.
Not anymore, no, but back then, like especially
Yeah.
my very first phone, it would have gotten destroyed.
We already touched on Toonami a little bit, Titan.
Hey,
Titan
Epic
just
Man, how you
talked about
doing?
Brotherhood.
Yeah, no, mostly we're.
How's everyone doing? Fucking love you guys.
We're on that 10 to 12-year-old cartoons at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
10
spent
to
a good
12.
chunk of the stream
These are
looking up
fucking
past
15 to
events
20
on the
year
network.
olds.
No,
Oh,
suitable
suitable.
for
Okay.
age.
Okay.
Yes.
I was
That's
gonna
what I-
say these are
that's what I
like
meant
15 to
to
20 years ago.
What the fuck did I
That's
just
what I
come
meant
back
to say.
What?
Us arguing over time frames.
Anyway, what else do we have on the note card?
Okay,
Okay,
who's creating
so
a jawbreaker now? You saw
again-
Ed and Eddie in the chat.
again, what we haven't been able to drop back onto, and I haven't got an answer out of any of you, when Cartoon Network brought in all of the IRL stuff, the Destroy, Build, Destroy, how did you feel about it as a whole? Not any specific shows. Just, did you think it was a good idea, cool idea, or shitty
it was
and
a
like
decent
stupid and they
idea.
shouldn't have done it?
Yeah, I
I
kind of
think
defeats
their
the name
execution was
Cartoon
amazing.
Network, but
But at the same time, Cartoon Network was starting to lose out because other shows had like channel had like iCarly and things like that, where it was IRL, but very kid friendly and kid show esque.
Personally, I didn't like the IRL stuff. If I wanted that, I had Nickelodeon, which I never watched. I thought Cartoon Network should stay Cartoon Network. That's the way I
Man.
feel about it. So I never liked it.
I mean, I liked the Dude What Would Happen
Oh.
program. It was just a
Okay,
kid-friendly
hang on.
Mythbusters.
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot about that. Okay, what about Flapjack?
Misadventures of Flapjack? Yeah.
I
like that one.
Yeah.
I loved
was-
that
I was-
show. It was so stupid but so funny.
Some episodes I
Some
liked,
of the-
other episodes I didn't like because of the, like, way too much detail on a certain body part kind of episodes. Like when they showed feet
The
or
Plague Rat. I know
or
which one you're
nose or
talking
the
about.
plague rat. Yeah.
To be fair, some of the best
News,
shows were
You have the
stupid. I mean,
plague. And why is
you
that
think of like Two
news?
Stupid Dogs with secret
That's
squirrel.
much older.
Cat, dog,
I was thinking
cat,
about that
diggity
earlier,
dog.
Some of the stupid shows were the best ones.
Cat
Yeah.
dog.
Alone in the world with little cat dog.
Yes. What was Cat Dog on Cartoon Network or was that on
Yeah,
something
no,
else?
No, that's Nickelodeon.
Was it? Oh fuck. Well,
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
Nickelodeon.
I mean, we can talk about Nickelodeon shows too. We can toss a little bit because we're talking about cartoons, but we did focus mostly in on.
If the episode sounds incorrect, it's because it is.
Shit, are we
Well,
gonna throw
titles are
Disney
like
Channel in there
we-
too?
dogs.
Are
we
we
come
gonna
up
throw
with the
Disney Channel
titles-
in there too? Because I do like gargoyles.
Ah, yes.
Oh
I've never
fuck,
heard of that.
Gargoyles was
Gargoyles.
amazing.
I don't know what the
I
hell
did
you're
like
talking
that
about.
too.
You've never heard of gargoyles?
No.
But
Oh my
McDonald's had a
God,
whole
dude.
fucking line of toys from Gargoyles for a while.
Do you think I got to go to McDonald's more than once every 6 months when I was a kid? My family
I don't know
was
if there's a
poor.
McDonald's near you.
Well, I'm sorry.
The
Exactly.
nearest
This is
McDonald's
back
also
when-
15 miles away.
This is back when a Happy Meal was like $1.80 for me.
Oh god. Fucking inflation.
Yeah.
What's a Happy Meal?
Man, I feel really out of fucking place in here because all you fuckers are old as shit. So you're talking about these shows that I've never heard of. What the hell?
Thanks,
yeah.
Turtle. Thanks.
Okay,
Some of us more
I'll-
than others.
I got
I
okay, I
kind
got
of
a
wish
question.
Vampy was here to give his 2 cents on it.
I know. I got a question that will actually, it doesn't matter what time frame or what network or this is actually a pretty interesting question I wanted to ask because I thought about it. I was just like, this is perfect for the podcast. What is there an episode of a cartoon that you watched as a kid that motivated you to become better in real life? Like, is there any episode of any show? It could be any show, any network that made you motivated to be a better person.
Not motivated
don't
per
think-
se, but the back to school episode for Ed, Edd and Eddy actually, for some reason, made me excited to go back to school. Out of all episodes, that one stuck with me the hardest.
You know, I don't think there's any specific episode,
There's
but I did touch on this last week too. Code Lyoko was likely the tie-in that got me to love computers. And then years later, I got to play Minecraft, and Minecraft continued that, and here we are, 15 years
dear
later.
God. I just realized, Turtle, you can make Code Lyoko a reality now because of how advanced
Yeah.
AI has gotten.
Yeah, it's to a point, yes. I mean, okay, let's touch on something a little bit more interesting for a second here.
You die in
That's-
the game, you die for real.
We're gonna talk about VR
Yeah,
Chat for
I'm-
just a second because VR Chat did have some big updates this week.
oh god.
There is now there is finger tracking on PC. Index controllers work much better. They also are now enabling AI NPCs basically in VR Chat. So VR Chat's gonna get a lot more interesting very soon. That's
If
all
it
I
hasn't
really
gotten
wanted to touch
interesting-
on.
If it hasn't gotten interesting already, I've seen people on Twitter complaining about the index controllers and how they're either not working or they're not working as well as they did before.
There's like 2 things that have changed about index controllers since in this beta that came out today, and one of them is the jump button by default is not the stick like it used to be. It's the A button. You can change that. That's super simple to fix. And the grip when you grab something, like when you grab an object, it's a lot softer now, which I personally prefer. But you can also change that in settings. Like,
Weird, I don't remember
I don't
that
have to-
show.
I don't have to grab on to my my things to do it. But yeah, with the AI thing, like there's gonna be a lot more options, and a lot of cartoon shows and things could become much more close to reality in VR Chat now. That's the crazy part.
Crazy or horrifying?
A bit of both. A nice hodgepodge of neutral and chaotic evils.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like with the persistence updates that are going to be coming out at some point, which they're going to be telling us more about this month, you'll be able to go into a world and have actual like NPCs that are roaming around areas and you can interact with them, do quests, obtain items, have inventories, things like that. That's all coming soon to VR chat. Like, that's kind of crazy.
That does seem interesting. I'm more interested in
hang
the
on.
AI of... No, fucking A.
Fairly Odd Parents. Fairly
Yeah.
Odd Parents.
Yep.
What about it?
Timmy was an average kid that no one understands. Mom and Dad and Vicky always giving
I'm just gonna
him
throw this out there.
commands.
Do not watch the reboot. It sucks.
There's
The
a
reboots
fucking
always suck
reboot.
about everything.
There's a live action reboot, and it is as terrible as you think.
Good. Great. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Oh man, yeah. There's been a lot of fun things. So let's, for a couple minutes here, figure out what we're going to talk about next week. We have that massive list you can mark off that we talked about, the Adult Swim and Cartoon Network cartoons.
So much for
Shows.
talking about Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Just real quick.
We can talk about Ed and Nick.
Just real
Turtle.
quick. So, what's the most serious thing you've ever heard come from a cartoon or a kid's show / movie?
I know Courage the Cowardly Dog gave me nightmares when I saw King Ramsey.
Oh my god. Oh god,
fucking
no.
Ramsey's bad.
Courage the Cowardly Dog as a whole.
Return the slab.
I don't know what the fuck exact thing you are referencing, but Courage the Cowardly Dog was scary as fuck when I was
It
like
was.
10
It was
watching
fucking
that.
surreal.
I was freaking the fuck out half the time. It was like, what the fuck?
Fucking love that show, dude. Welcome to the
I know
Cat's
people
Monkey
Oh my
like to
God.
joke that that
Oh my God.
character only had 2 lines, but he technically had 3.
Oh, no, stop it.
Robot
No, we
Chicken.
already talked
Get outta here,
about. We
Seth
already
Green.
talked about.
We did not talk
Didn't
about
he
Robot
voice
Chicken.
like 90?
I
No,
didn't
we
even
talked
think
about
about
Adult Swim.
Yeah, but we didn't talk
Yeah, I didn't
about
think about
Robot
it either.
Chicken, the best
Because
thing.
we didn't even touch
from
Aqua Teen Hunger
Adult
Force
Swim.
either.
One of the best things. We did a little
Yeah,
bit.
besides American
part
Pie,
2
the
out
only
of
other
this.
successful thing that Seth Green's ever been a part of.
Honestly,
And I don't count
we
Family
Guy.
talked more about Cartoon
Okay.
Network than we did Adult Swim. Maybe
Wait,
next
what-
time
what
can
about
be
Without
Adult
a
Swim
Paddle?
itself.
Oh, that sucks.
We
too.
had a good mix. Anyway, let's figure out what we're going to talk about next week, because we are.
We still got a little bit of time.
Yes, but
We ran late because of
What-
Maul, so
yeah,
Fuck you,
between a
I mean-
mall and my computer having a mental breakdown today, things were a little delayed.
Cloud
Okay,
Strike,
here
you better
now.
not be
Play
fucking
them
us.
Well, I was
No,
here.
it was things being pretty slow and weird.
next
All
week's
right, so
topic,
talk
the
about-
downfall of civilization.
Talking about next week's
I-
episode.
Yeah. Where is that sheet you sent, Stealth?
It's on. I sent it to you over DMs.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. How long ago was this?
I think we talked about
It was
last week.
7
I
years ago.
remember. So
Oh, there it
last
is.
week, I remember that we did talk about community guidelines and all the stuff happening with the gun community. I know that came
Yeah,
up, so maybe talking about
yeah.
sponsors, ads, endorsements, stuff like that.
I'm cool with that. Let's do YouTube, Adpocalypse, and sponsors next week. Write that down, Stealth.
I'm going to actually work on this. I'm going to put together an entire spreadsheet about the Adpocalypse of 2017
Do
because
it.
that was
Oh,
a fucking nightmare.
Hey, I did
I'll
the
have to
ideas
do a
for
little
last
bit of
week, and
research,
next week
otherwise I'm gonna be
you
quiet.
get to do the juicy stuff.
Okay,
thought
so
I-
that's
I
what,
thought I was-
that's what we'll be talking about next week.
Linus Tech Tips.
What about Linus Tech
Linux
Tips?
touch tips.
I don't know
Anyway,
what-
we're gonna
Titan
wrap up
setting.
here for tonight. Thank you guys for being here. As always, you three have been here for pretty much every freaking episode since the origin of the podcast.
I still feel weird not being in VR.
I feel weird being finger touch, fingers being very,
Turtle,
Use
who
your
touched
words,
you?
Turtle.
very. I touched me. No one else touched me.
We're
That's
on
why I'm
this-
sad.
we're
You
on
had
this
every
call where
opportunity
you
to say
touch.
Gabe
On
Newell.
this doll, did they touch you?
Nobody
set
else
you up,
touched me.
Turtle.
That's why I'm sad. What? Huh?
Nothing.
What did you set me up for?
To say you were touched by Gabe Newell.
Oh my god.
So every time you get
Anyway.
touched, you get this feeling.
So, thank you for being here. This was episode
got a
34
feeling.
of the. Can you shut the fuck up? I'm doing the outro intro shit.
Real quick, Turtle, I just want to say, for this episode, I wanted to rock my OG avatar, if that was okay with all of you. If you want me to swap back to the other one, let me know in the comments. I mean, it's a minor criticism, but
Doesn't matter to me.
just
Anyway.
curious.
So, this has been episode 34 of the Beyond Pixels podcast. We're here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/turtledude01. You can find all previous episodes on turtledude01 on YouTube, and you can join the Discord. There's always a link down below. Do the likes, the comments, put some comments and shit about whatever you want. Tell us what topics we should do. Come join in on the conversation live on Twitch. We have good fun topics coming up. We have a list of like 40 topics, I think, that we're going to be talking about over the next few months here, and we're going to have a great time. So anyway, let's start with stealth for the shilling.
Your scooting scared the fuck out of me. Y'all can find me at twitch.tv/DeltaFox. Like I said, my schedule has been absolutely ridiculous, and especially after getting over this illness we all caught last week. I don't know when I'm going to start again. Just keep an eye out. I'll be back eventually.
Sorgatwee.
Yes. You can find me on all socials except for TikTok. I hate that website. But last night, I decided to stream on Kick for the first time in a while. So I might do another stream there again. Probably not tonight. I'm not feeling well, but I might do it again soon. So you can see me over at kick.com/circuitry. But I mainly stream on Rumble. My podcast is there, rumble.com/circuitry. Thank you all very much.
And what are we gonna? What's the weird thing that's gonna be said?
I would say tell us in the comments, what's your favorite cartoon all time?
Oh, that's
And
a
if you
good
don't
idea.
have a favorite, what was your favorite event from any children's Cartoon Network? You know what I mean.
Toby, why are you in the ground? Anyway,
'Cause I'm a rat.
Code
So is
Lyoko
our
was a
outro.
damn good show. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next episode.
Whee!